Welcome to the That's a Sign podcast, a space where astrology comes to life, revealing its magic and connection to our everyday lives. This project is created by the team behind the Moon X app, which is now available in the App Store and Google Play. If you haven't installed it yet, now is the perfect time. Today's episode is the final one in our That's a Sign podcast series, prepared for the astrological seasons, and is dedicated to the 11th sign of the zodiac, Aquarius. The Aquarius season will last from January 19th to February 18th. Who are Aquarians? Extraordinary creators and innovators, freedom fighters, people with superpowers, or unrecognized geniuses. Have they truly always been ahead of their time, shaping our future? Let's explore these questions and more together. The ruling planet of Aquarius is the revolutionary Uranus, responsible for progress, unexpected changes, and innovative thinking. It symbolizes freedom and collective consciousness. Thanks to Uranus, Aquarius is like an electric spark that awakens new ideas and unconventional solutions. This sign is associated with the internet, high technologies, super speed, airplanes, space, and of course, past revolutions and the spirit of rebellion. Uranus is the planet of astrologers and esotericists, giving Aquarius the ability to foresee the future and look far beyond the horizon. At the same time, it's important not to overlook the minor ruler, Saturn, the planet of discipline. Its connection to Aquarius has its roots in classical astrology, where Saturn was the sole ruler of the sign before Uranus was discovered. Saturn adds structure, strategic thinking, and the ability to turn bold ideas into reality. Together, these two planets create a unique balance between innovation and responsibility, making Aquarians both idealists and pragmatists. The element of Aquarius is air, which gives them mental agility, incredible curiosity, and a thirst for new knowledge. This sign seems to call out, open your eyes and absorb information to be inspired by ideas that can change the future. However, the story of Aquarius is not that simple. Despite their airy lightness, Aquarians belong to the fixed cross, which gives them stability and persistence in achieving their goals. Once again, the connection with Saturn is evident, adding organization to what might seem like a chaotic flow of innovation. If you have an Aquarius friend, you probably know that these individuals are always ready to share their boldest ideas, but they also steadfastly value their independence. They may unexpectedly invite you on a city quest or suggest a spontaneous brainstorming session, where their original thoughts will shine like bright stars. But they're unlikely to follow the crowd and will certainly reject conventional approaches. Aquarius's opposite sign, Leo, focuses on personal charisma, while Aquarius governs the 11th house of friendship, teamwork, and global ideas. This is the sign that builds bridges between people, uniting them for common goals and dreams of a better future. If you want to bring more inspiration into your life this season, try focusing on your friends, engaging in a team project, or stepping outside your comfort zone. Aquarius encourages us to boldly experiment and bring our most creative ideas to life. Despite their love for innovation and desire to change the world, some Aquarians can be surprisingly lazy, preferring to spend time at home, binge-watching series and content, exploring new ideas from the comfort of their chair. This may seem paradoxical for a sign often associated with revolutionary changes and progress. It's important to find a balance between external activity and the inner world, where they can gather ideas for future action. This combination of opposing traits, the drive for freedom and rebellion, alongside moments of laziness and solitude, makes Aquarius truly multifaceted. Sometimes they're at the forefront, and other times they retreat and go with the flow, and this too is part of their unique energy. People born under this sign break the mold and defy a one-size-fits-all description because they're diverse in their originality. They want to be different from those around them. Are you ready to explore the ambiguous energy of Aquarius? Let's continue and see how it manifests in the lives of famous personalities. Let's dive into the world of writers born under the Aquarius sign, who left a lasting mark on the history of literature. these are not just authors, they were true innovators who saw the world through their own lens, sometimes even predicting the future. Jules Verne, French geographer and writer, ahead of his time in his works. For example, in his book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, he wrote about a submarine that humanity would invent only years later. Ayn Rand, an American writer and philosopher born in Russia, the author of iconic works such as Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead. Her philosophy of objectivism, based on rational egoism and individual freedom, perfectly reflects Aquarius ideals, aiming for independence and progress. But in this podcast, I want to focus on a deeper analysis of the natal chart of Lewis Carroll, who created magical worlds in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. These books are full of absurd situations and profound philosophical reflections, making them ideal for discussion in the context of Aquarius, the sign always ready to go beyond the usual. English writer, mathematician, logician, philosopher, deacon, and photographer. How did he manage to excel in such diverse fields? Let's take a look at his natal chart. Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, sits in conjunction with the Sun and South Node in the second house of resources and the body. Plus, in Aquarius, he has Jupiter, which, being in the third house, expands his extraordinary talent as a writer. This shows that Carroll truly lived in the energy of Uranus. Progress, unconventional thinking, a drive to see and create what others couldn't even imagine. Many of his contemporaries noted that he seemed to see the world differently, ahead of his time. And how could he not be ahead of his time, being the author of the famous quote, "You have to run as fast as you can just to stay in place, and if you want to get somewhere, you have to run at least twice as fast." Let's run through his natal chart further. Uranus, in his chart, also forms a harmonious trine with the moon, highlighting an emotional connection to the world of children. It's no surprise that he truly flourished in their company. The energy of Uranus and Aquarius manifested in the story of how Alice's Adventures in Wonderland came to be. This tale began as an improvised story Carroll made up for his friend's daughter, Alice Liddell, during a boating trip. Carroll possessed a rare gift of seeing magic in the mundane, turning ordinary things into something entirely new. Additionally, in the Victorian era, when photography was just beginning, Carroll became one of the first to be captivated by this pioneering art. He took many portraits, including the famous photographs of Alice Liddell. These images, preserved to this day, continue to link the real Alice with her fairy tale persona. In his fairy tales and photographs, Carroll's talents as a storyteller, experimenter, and dreamer merged. Interestingly, in Through the Looking Glass, he left a hidden message, an acrostic where the first letters of the line spell out the name Alice Liddell. This is Lewis Carroll, a man who lived in his own world, yet gifted it to us. Like the swift energy of Uranus, let's travel through time to the present day and examine the natal chart of a super charismatic singer with a unique, extraordinary voice. Let's dive into the world of Shakira, a woman whose voice and energy have conquered the world. Under the radiance of the Sun in Aquarius, the 11th house of social connections, she became not only one of the best-selling artists in history, but also the first South American artist to top the American charts. Do you know what immediately stands out in her chart? It's the unique house grid, all 12 houses aligned with their native signs. Such a configuration is rare. It makes her life vibrant and full of events that unfold with full intensity. Now, the main point, the energy of Aquarius. It makes Shakira an innovator. Her creativity always breaks boundaries, and her work is focused on humanitarianism and progress. Just look at her Pies Descalzos Foundation, which builds schools and supports education for poor children in Colombia. This is pure 11th house energy, inspiring, uniting, and leading the way. But Shakira's chart contains 2 T-squares involving her Sun in Aquarius, which significantly impacts her life. The first T-square is connected to the Sun in Aquarius, Jupiter in the 2nd house, and Saturn in the 5th. Here, we see a conflict between the desire for bold self-expression, material stability, and discipline in creativity. Jupiter in the second house not only gave her success, but also a remarkable voice, her natural resource. However, the square to the Sun and opposition to Saturn, the minor ruler of Aquarius, highlight challenges. For example, accusations of tax evasion reflect the struggle between ambition and responsibility. The second T-square is even more interesting. Here, the Sun squares Uranus in the 7th house and opposes Saturn in the 5th. This is about freedom in relationships. Uranus in the 7th house indicates a desire for independence, while Saturn in the 5th speaks to discipline and creativity and responsibility. Think about her relationship with footballer Gerard Piqué. A long story, 2 children, but eventually, separation. This fits the Aquarius spirit. Freedom is more important than stability. And of course, all of this is reflected in her music. For instance, She-Wolf is an anthem of inner strength, a desire to break free from limitations. Or Whenever, Wherever, where she sings about love without borders. Her song Bizrap Music Sessions Volume 53, it's pure rebellion. After her breakup with Piqué, she literally shook up the music charts and shocked everyone with her very personal lyrics. And you know what she said about the song in an interview with Rolling Stone? Here's the quote. I said, I'm an artist, I am a woman, and I'm a wounded she-wolf, and no one should tell me how to lick my wounds. Powerful words, right? This is the purest Aquarius energy. Freedom, strength, independence. Shakira isn't afraid to speak her mind, to be herself. Quote, we're in a society that's used to seeing women confront pain in a submissive way, and I think that's changed, Shakira says. She was particularly excited that her song charted at the same time as Miley Cyrus's Flowers, an anthem of self-love and independence after a breakup, which was also blowing up. Quote, we were both thinking the same thing, and the reaction was similar. This is Aquarius energy in its purest form, inspiring, going against the rules, and staying true to yourself. Wrapped head to toe in the spirit of freedom, let's dive into a few intriguing aspects of the natal chart of renowned perfumer and fashion pioneer Christian Dior. His Sun at the 1st degree of Aquarius, forming a major square with his Uranus, the dispositor of Aquarius, in conjunction with Mercury and Capricorn, reveals him as an inventor of great caliber. The Earth sign placement adds a practical dimension to his inventions. Despite a series of setbacks and challenges from tense aspects, Christian Dior managed to open his own fashion house, and his perfume laboratory eventually grew into the Christian Dior Perfume Company. Dior's first collection, New Look, 1947, featured elongated, romantic, and tightly fitted dresses. These dresses used yards of fabric, sparking harsh criticism. Ordinary women, who couldn't afford haute couture in the post-war period, even tried to tear the dresses off models during the fashion shows. But this contrast only fueled the public's fascination with the designer and his fashion house. Focusing on the highest class of clothing was the right decision for Dior. His midheaven, MC and Leo suggest that a person must stand out in their professional achievements, and their sphere should be elite, even royal in nature. The ruler of his MC, his Sun in Aquarius in the 3rd house, in conjunction with Chiron, symbolizes a key or gateway to higher levels. Thus, Christian Dior became both a creator and a guide for others into the world of haute couture. Once he declared himself as a designer innovator, there was no turning back. He was one of the first to develop licensing. Under his license, and with a trademark Dior, fashion clothing, perfumes, and accessories were produced worldwide. And finally, Aquarians with superpowers. Beyond innovation and freedom, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is also connected to astrology, esotericism, in the future. How can we not mention one of the brightest figures in history, the Bulgarian sensitive, blind fortune teller and moral authority, Vangelia Pandeva Dimitrova, better known as Vanga? Let's take a look at what astrology says about her talents. First, it's worth noting that she had Sun, Moon, and Venus in Aquarius. That's already impressive. Aquarius is a sign of visions, intuition, and almost a magical perspective that sees beyond reality. The Sun here illuminates her uniqueness, the Moon amplifies her intuition and emotional connection to something larger, and Venus adds inner harmony and beauty to it all. So not only could she see, but she also had the ability to feel what was hidden, and she attracted people with this gift. Now, let's look at Mercury and Uranus. They're both in Capricorn. While not exactly conjunct, since they're in different degrees, Mercury at 15 degrees and Uranus at 26 degrees, they're still in the same sign, and that's important. Uranus is the planet of insights and genius, and Mercury is our intellect and speech. Capricorn, with its discipline, channels all of this into a clear, structured form. Imagine this. She would see images, and her mind would literally structure them, helping her express them in words. This is truly a unique combination. By the way, did you notice? Uranus rules Aquarius, and Saturn, the minor ruler of Aquarius, adds stability to all of this. This combination of planets makes her capable of not just sensing, but also assembling her visions into a coherent picture. So, what do we get from this? Aquarius gives her the connection to higher knowledge, while Capricorn helps bring it into reality. It's a powerful combination for a seer. And so, today, we explored the fascinating world of Aquarius, a sign that inspires us to look to the future, break stereotypes, and unite people around great ideas. Each season carries unique energies, and Aquarius reminds us that anything is possible if we allow ourselves to think differently and act boldly. May this season be a time of inspiration, experimentation, and incredible discoveries for you. Remember, this was the final podcast in our That's a Sign series. All the other 11 episodes about the zodiac signs are available in our MoonX app, as well as on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you for spending this time with us. This has been the That's a Sign podcast, your guide to the world of astrology. Subscribe, share your thoughts, and join the MoonX team in the app to discover even more about yourself and your journey.